Hello everybody, my name is Graham Elwood and you are watching the Political Vigilante. So remember last year or so when, first of all, we all know from 2016 the superdelegates are what screwed Bernie over. There were states that literally voted for Bernie Sanders, but the superdelegates gave them to Hillary. So they just said, we don't care about your votes. One of those states was West Virginia that voted for Bernie overwhelmingly. The superdelegates gave them to Hillary. And then they voted for Trump, and everyone was like, what? Yeah, and they didn't forget NAFTA in West Virginia. They didn't forget NAFTA. So they did this thing, well, we're revamping it, you know, we're peeling back the number of superdelegates, and they're only going to come in if there's a second ballot. And all the progressives said, oh, great. And I was like, you're suckers. This is the progressives always take table scraps, and then they high-five each other. We got this big win. No, get rid of superdelegates. That would have do it. So obviously we've talked about this, the DNC's plan the whole time, push this to a second ballot. That's why they're screw Bernie, because they do not want Bernie to take over the party. Well, Bernie's starting, the polls and everything, it's overwhelming. He's raised way more money than he did in 2016. He has broken records, individual donors, and they're like, uh-oh, the corporate media is starting to go, wow, Bernie could win. He could win the landslide. He could be the runaway leader going into the convention. Well, they can't let that happen. So now they've been talking about writing the rules differently to cheat. Yes. DNC members discuss rule change to stop Sanders at the convention. The talks reveal rising anxiety over the Vermont senator's momentum on the eve of voting. What? A small group of Democratic National Committee members has privately begun gauging support for a plan to potentially weaken Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign and head off a brokered convention. Because if he wins, they're like, oh God, he's going to win Iowa, New Hampshire, Arizona. He could even win South Carolina. He's going to win California, because their plan was like, oh, we'll have Kamala, she'll win California, Robert Francis O'Rourke will win Texas, you know, Wine Cave Pete will win Indiana, Warren will take Massachusetts, and now none of them have a shot except Bernie. None of them. So they got to figure out another way to cheat. So they're going to try to rewrite the rules in the middle of the game. That's like, yeah, our team is losing by 4 touchdowns, so now we're going to suddenly limit their touchdowns. And when we kick a field goal, it's worth 30 points. When they kick one, they lose 10 points. Does that seem fair? That seems like fair. That's totally fair. God, the Democrats, they're resisting. They're fighting for us. Those filthy, soulless, corrupt, degenerate, corporate, pro-banking, pro-war, maggot-ridden morons. They're so corrupt. Like, I have more respect for like a meth dealer than the Democratic Party. Because at least the meth dealer's like, yeah, I deal drugs, I'm a meth dealer. The Democrats, we're fighting for you and Trump's bad, but we're going to screw the one guy that could beat Trump. Bernie Sanders is the one guy that could beat Trump. And when like, I see people like, I saw this one woman on Twitter, and she literally on her account, she goes, I'm a coastal elite. And she's like, Bernie will never win. And she literally, she talks about, she lives on the East Coast and she's a coastal elite. Yeah, you have no idea how the middle of the country is faring. All your friends live in the big cities on the coast. They all have nice white collar jobs. You have no idea. I've traveled throughout this country for 20 years, especially the last 3 or 4 years. Like I said, in West Virginia, they didn't forget NAFTA. Bernie in poll after poll after poll is beating Donald Trump head to head, better than anyone else. How can you say he can't win? His populism, he's the most popular politician in the country. Trump's base is maxed out. He can't get any, there's no new Trump supporters. It's just if Democrats don't show up, that will happen. That will, how Trump will get reelected. And they won't show up for a dumb centrist like Wine Cave Pete or boring Klobuchar or lying about her being a Native American Liz Warren or Joe Biden's insanity. None of those people can beat Trump. And they know this. That's what this is about. If they were like Bernie will never and Biden's going to win, everyone wants, or they tried Kamala, it didn't work. None of it's working, so they have to cheat. About a half dozen members have discussed the possibility of a policy reversal to ensure that so-called superdelegates can vote on the first ballot. Because we know superdelegates will vote against Bernie. That's what they're paid to do. The reason Donald Trump got the nomination is because they have no superdelegates in the Republican Party. I do believe we should reopen the rules. I hear it from others as well. One DNC member said in a text message last week to William Owen. Now, Owen wouldn't reveal who the person was. If Sanders wins the Iowa caucuses on Monday and continues to gain momentum, it is possible he could arrive at the convention with the most delegates. Yeah, you want to know why? They're talking about this? New poll, January 31st. Sanders, Biden are neck and neck with new NBC national poll. Two Democratic presidential contenders are statistically tied, but Sanders has an edge in loyalty of his supporters. That's the corporate media, NBC and Wall Street Journal, who do not want Bernie Sanders. That's their way of saying he's in the lead. He's in the lead. It's kind of like 2016 when they kept saying, oh, Trump's not going to get the nomination. And he kept knocking off Bush, Ted Cruz, Rubio, all these people that were like, no. This is who we want. We want a Bush-Clinton rematch. We want corporate. And now Trump, look, he ran on a populist platform. Now his populism is the xenophobic, racist populism, blaming America's problems on poor, working class people in a foreign country. Mexico didn't steal your job. Billionaires did. People like that stole your job. Bernie's populism is inclusive and revolutionary and transformative. And they know he can't beat Trump. What's he going to run on? Trump will eat him alive with his Ukraine stuff because his son, he gave his son $50,000, which is completely corrupt. Trump is completely corrupt, but so's Biden. Where's his corruption? Oh, they can just get some paid Clinton operative to go on MSNBC and say, Bernie's sexist. That's all they can say. Even though there's videos from 30 years ago of him telling little girls, yes, you can be president, a woman can be president. Back in the 80s when Liz Warren was stealing a college scholarship from a Native American woman and when she was in the Republican Party. That's what they got. And they know it. And that's why they're trying to cheat. There's talk about somehow trying to change the rules of the convention. Just casual conversation. I have participated in it some, said Don Fowler. Who's Don Fowler? Former DNC chairman from South Carolina who opposed the DNC's decision to strip the superdelegates of much of their power in presidential nominating process. So he's a superdelegate OG from way back. Corrupt Democrat, filthy liar. Don Fowler. You just sound like a cheater. The convention body is the ultimate authority of the party, so the convention body can do anything they want to do. More corruption from the DNC. Wow. We knew they were doing everything they could to try to push it to a second ballot. They know that's not going to work, so now they have to change the rules in the middle of the primary. Bernie's about to win Iowa, and then he's going to win New Hampshire, and then what? And after he wins Iowa, all the donation money, you're going to watch it. All that donation money that's scattered out between like Klobuchar and Warren and Mayor Pete and Biden, it's going to all start going all over to Bernie, and they're going to have to start dropping out. They're going to have to start dropping out. And Tom Steyer and Andrew Yang are already like cozying up to Bernie because they know they see the writing on the wall. They're not going to get the nomination. They're going to get 4, 5, 6% of the vote or whatever. And then it's going to be Bernie and Biden and Warren. That's who's left. Warren just hung herself out to dry. They keep saying Warren's, you know, she's not, you can't say her and Bernie are the same progressives anymore. The corporate media called her a liar. Like diehard Clinton-y Warren supporters on corporate media are like, well, Warren hasn't been honest about her heritage and Warren wasn't honest about this sexism stuff. So here it comes, folks. Here comes the cheat train. But this is all the more reason why we need to stay on top of it and we need to stay paying close attention and we need to let the DNC know, and do not vote for any down ballot corporate Democrats in any way, shape, or form. Send a message to them. Make the progressives take this party over or you're done. You're done. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. YouTube's been unsubscribing people. Join us on the road for the Progressive Comedy Tour. We've got a bunch of dates for 2020. Ron Placone and I. We're going all over the place. All those tour dates are at grahamelwood.com. And then support the show. I can't do the show without you. I don't get corporate money. I don't get any money. Boeing and Raytheon don't give me money. Shell Oil doesn't buy head time on this show. They don't support me. That'd be funny if they did. So, you know, Big Kale still won't write a check. So go to patreon.com/GrahamElwood or rockfin.com/GrahamElwood. That is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. Thanks for watching the show. You're all making Gotham great again. Boom.